Wrestle Mafia. Shout out to him for this video. Like and subscribe to the channel. I looked at this. I just be scrolling sometimes on my phone, and then I ran into the GOAT of every wrestling promotion in the world, and I was like, that's an interesting title, and decided to react to it. So fuck it, wrestling. Yeah, let's get some wrestling. All right, let's go.
From AEW to WCW, every wrestling promotion has that one wrestler who you immediately associate with that company. In this video, we're going to find out who's the GOAT of every wrestling promotion.
This is all opinion based. This is not factual. This is all opinion based. But let's see if his opinion is correct.
Starting with TNA. When you think of total nonstop action, you think of one name,
AJ Styles. That should end. It should end, nigga. He's the GOAT of that promotion. Let's move forward.
AJ Styles. While stars like Kurt Angle and Sting brought legitimacy to the company, Styles was the homegrown star who built his legacy entirely within TNA's six-sided ring. The Phenomenal One captured the NWA World Heavyweight Championship 3 times, and after TNA created its own World Championship, Styles became a 2-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Little nostalgia on Styles, bro. Little nostalgia on Styles. Cena, the WWE GOAT. What? Stop. Little nostalgia on Styles, right? Nostalgia Styles. Well, that's kind of hard. Hold on. But I was little kid, probably like 10. I was probably like 10 years old when TNA came on. 10 or 11. And Jeff Hardy was on drugs and shit. And I kind of knew it when I was a kid. I was like, this nigga drugged up. But I thought it was all an act at this point. And he left. And then he left to another brand, which made it more kind of realer to me. And then he left to TNA. So I started watching TNA. And then I saw AJ Styles. And then I fell in love. Like love in like wrestling ways. Like I fell in love with this nigga wrestling, bro. And I was like, oh, I've never seen nobody wrestle like this in my life. And yeah, ever since then, I've been a fan of AJ Styles, bro.
His victories over Sting and Kurt Angle proving he belonged among wrestling's elite. His rivalry with Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels produced some of the greatest matches in company history.
It's a big ass nigga
World
flying.
Championships, Styles captured the X Division Championship 6 times, and he even won the World Tag Team Championship multiple times. Styles main evented more pay-per-views than anyone
like I said, Glaze Fest.
Prime years, consistently delivering
deservingly
when the company needed him most. When people think of TNA's golden age, they remember Styles flying through the air, locking in the calf crusher, or delivering the Styles Clash. Styles carried the company through ownership changes, roster departures,
definitely Mount Rushmore TNA. He's the GOAT of that TNA.
Regardless
this is not even a question.
The Phenomenal One spent over a decade as TNA's franchise player.
Fast start. Save it, bro. We ain't even there yet, nigga.
Today, a decade after retiring from competition in TNA, Styles remains the greatest wrestler to ever come out of the Impact Zone. However, before TNA was formed, there was a rival company that almost drove WWE out of business. World Championship Wrestling rose from the NWA's ashes to become WWE's greatest rival during the Monday Night Wars. Goldberg's undefeated winning streak created an unstoppable monster.
I'm gonna say when Hulk Hogan came to WCW, dog, he turned that bitch upside down. When he came with that NWO shit, nigga. But something in my heart telling me go Goldberg. Because Goldberg bought the feeling of it. You feel me? It's between Hogan or Goldberg. I'm going to go with Goldberg. I think Goldberg is the GOAT of WCW. I'm going to go with Goldberg.
Hulk Hogan's shocking heel turn launched the NWO and made WCW the industry's hottest promotion. Ric Flair's decade-long dominance established WCW as wrestling's premier destination for technical excellence. Even stars like Lex Luger, Randy Savage, and DDP.
Look. Motherfuckers already arguing in the chat. Look at this shit. Motherfuckers arguing about WWE. Calm down. Hold on. Hold on. Hold your horses. We ain't even get there yet. This is going to be controversial, ain't it? When it get there, it's going to be controversial.
had solid runs in the company. Yet one man defined WCW from its inception until its final days, becoming the promotion's soul and its most loyal soldier.
Ah, Sting. I forgot. Goldberg came to mind, though. Is that because they showed Goldberg? Maybe because they showed Goldberg. Sting. Maybe it's Sting.
Stinger captured his first NWA World Heavyweight Championship in 1990, defeating Ric Flair at the Great American Bash in a passing of the torch moment that announced a new era. While Flair represented wrestling's past, Sting embodied its future with his face paint, energy, and connection with the fans. After this, the icon would feud with the likes of Lex Luger, Vader, Rick Rude, and compete in multiple marquee matches for the promotion from 1992 to 19...
I agree. Goldberg is not the GOAT. I agree. But that year was amazing, my nigga.
1995. When the NWO invaded WCW in 1996, Sting transformed himself into the vigilante who watched from the rafters, how long it was, building towards his confrontation with Hollywood Hogan at Starrcade 1997. Despite the controversial finish, Sting's victory over Hogan remains one of wrestling's most anticipated matches. Sting won the World Heavyweight Championship 6 times during the promotion's existence, feuding with everyone from Flair and Vader to Hogan and Goldberg. Beyond championships, Sting won the King of Cable tournament and headlined Starrcade multiple times. He remained loyal to the company even as other stars departed for WWE. When WCW closed in 2001, Sting was there until the end, the icon who refused to abandon ship. While Hogan and Flair achieved greater mainstream fame, nobody represented WCW's identity more completely than Sting.
I agree.
Sting. The face paint, the scorpion death drop, the baseball bat. These images define WCW's legacy, and they all belong to the Stinger. But as the company went bankrupt and eventually got purchased by Vince McMahon 2 decades later, another WWE rival promotion would emerge. All Elite Wrestling launched in 2019 as the first legit WWE alternative in decades. Kenny Omega's title reign showcased why many consider him the best wrestler alive, delivering classics against everyone from Hangman Page,
AEW. I don't think it's Kenny. I think it's MJF, nigga. I'm gonna go MJF.
To Bryan Danielson. The Young Bucks revolutionized tag team wrestling with their innovative style. Hangman Adam Page's emotional championship victory over Omega created one of wrestling's best long-term stories. Chris Jericho brought MJF, star power as the company's first world champion. MJF evolved into the company's top heel and biggest homegrown
That's
star.
The first time I seen AEW was MJF.
Will Ospreay arrived and immediately delivered 5-star classics. Swerve Strickland's title reign established him as a main event player. Yet when measuring consistency, championship success, and sheer presence through every controversy and challenge, one man stands above all others, Jon Moxley. After his
No. I totally disagree with this. Moxley or Kenny Omega? Nah, I'm going MJF. I'm going to go MJF. I'm going MJF. He had the longest title run, most interesting title run. And, but I'm gonna be honest, just talking from a person that didn't really watch AEW. So, you can totally bat your ears to what I'm saying. But it's just from my opinion. Just watching. And I could be wrong. And, yeah, I could be wrong too. But, to me, it's MJF. Because of the sheer star presence that he brought to AEW. And he's the best thing I think AEW created. Because Kenny was already Kenny. AEW just bought some new factor to them. Moxley, he was already Dean Ambrose from that. And he came over there and put it on. MJF wasn't nothing yet. So he became something in AEW. He wasn't as big as Kenny when he was out of AEW. Kenny was bigger than him. Jon Moxley was bigger than him because Dean Ambrose. Chris Jericho was obviously bigger than him. You can argue Will Ospreay. You can argue Will Ospreay. But yeah, MJF is the best thing that they homegrown. That is rep AEW. He even got an AEW tattoo, my nigga. So I'll give it to MJF off that alone. If you get your own tattoo of the brand, I'll give it to MJF.
The former Shield member arrived in Tony Khan's company at Double or Nothing and attacked both Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. The purveyor of violence quickly captured the World Championship, defeating Jericho to become the promotion's second world champion.
Then it went all downhill from this.
Reign through 2020 carried AEW through the pandemic's darkest days, defending the title in empty arenas against Brian Cage, Brody Lee, and Eddie Kingston. His feud with Kenny Omega defined the company's first 2 years, with their lights-out match at Full Gear showcasing the violence and freedom Tony Khan's promotion offered. Moxley reclaimed the World Championship in 2022, defeating Punk after the latter's injury created a sudden vacancy. He held the title through controversy surrounding CM Punk's backstage altercations.
MJF had it before that, and he gained a lot of, don't watch arena implying wrestlers,
providing stability when the company desperately needed it. His third reign began in 2024 after defeating Bryan Danielson, proving his continued position as AEW's anchor. Beyond his World Championship reigns
MJF bought the numbers up, dog.
Over 400 days, Moxley formed the Blackpool Combat Club, mentoring Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia while keeping the company grounded during turbulent periods. He worked in New Japan and won the U.S. Championship. When Tony Khan needed someone to face Orange Cassidy or Powerhouse Hobbs or Hangman Page on short notice, Moxley delivered without complaint. Through roster departures, backstage drama, creative missteps, and declining ratings, Moxley remained AEW's constant. While Omega may be the
you're declining while you was there. MJF was there, up.
Company's greatest in-ring performer, and Hangman delivered its best story, nobody has carried the promotion through thick and thin like AEW.
But even if we're going off people being there and the money and the views going up since they're there, off numbers, if that's the case, Hogan is the GOAT of WCW. Depending on what you're going off of as a GOAT, right? I'm just purely going off of homebred. I want to go off just homebred from there, right? Like that's why I went with Sting for WCW. That's homebred. He's the GOAT of that. I believe. AEW's MJF. He's the GOAT of this. He was already your own thing, dog. You came there, you bought views to AWL. MJF was bred in AEW. It's their biggest star that they put out, bro. And plus, he's bringing the numbers up when he come on the show. So, and he has the most viewed segment in AEW history with CM Punk. So yeah. Okay, saying Hogan to go over WCW because he bought the numbers there.
Use Ace.
I'm saying Sting is the GOAT because he's homebred. It's all depending on your definition. What's your definition of it? You want me to look up the numbers? Okay, you want me to look up the numbers, bro? All right. I'm falling for debate. All right. Let me look up the numbers. All right. What's it? Dynamite ratings. Look at their ratings, right? Simple math. Because you were there longer. No, I'm saying if you was homebred there and you're the biggest star there, then you're the GOAT of that, in my opinion. That's my definition of a GOAT. For this specifically. AW and what was that? Last week they did 262 not 260, that's terrible. 650,000 from AW Dynamite. Can we get a previous of the weeks where he wasn't there and Jon Moxley was the champ? Or 2021, 2022. Okay, this is a good one. We can go with this. 2025 quarter 4. AEW, they was below 500,000 with Jon Moxley. Don't you see this, John? This is when Jon Moxley was champion. Actually, no, it was 2020. It was around here, I think, quarter 1. Because that's when he had the belt. He had the belt throughout this whole time in 2025. So these are the numbers that Jon Moxley were bringing in with the championship. I think he held the belt in 2025. I think that was the belt. Let me look. Hold on. Moxley loses AEW title. When did that happen? Like last year, right? Yeah, 7 months ago. Where's it at? So that was 7 months ago. So that was, the whole 2025 he held the belt. So that's quarter 1 to quarter 4. So quarter 4 was terrible. But this is what you see. He gained a consistent 600,000. Previous years it was better, obviously, because Punk was there. I think Punk was the reason why I was even touching a million. I mean, you can agree on that. Punk was the only reason why this shit was touching a million around this time. Still got 7 minutes left.
But 2 decades before All Elite Wrestling became a thing.
And you probably gone now. Look, he gone now. Look, I did that all for you and you gone.
There was a scrappy underground promotion during the 90s that redefined hardcore wrestling. Extreme Championship Wrestling exploded onto the scene in 1993 and revolutionized professional wrestling with its violent style. While WWE and WCW had their cartoonish characters, ECW pushed boundaries with extreme matches and edgy storylines. The Sandman's entrances and Singapore cane shots made him one of most recognized.
ECW should be I think it should be Rob Van Dam. I think it should be Rob Van Dam. But what comes to mind is Rob Van Dam, Sabu, Rey Mysterio a little bit, Tommy Dreamer, Dudley Boys. Yeah. I think the biggest star out of there was Rob Van Dam. And maybe Sabu. Tommy Dreamer wasn't the biggest star from there, though. But I think the best was Rob Van Dam. Yeah, Rob Van Dam. Yeah. I'm going to go Rob Van Dam.
Recognizable characters in wrestling. Sabu's death-defying stunts showed his willingness to sacrifice his body for the art. Taz's suplex-heavy dominance and undefeated streak positioned him as a legit badass. Rob Van Dam's innovative offense made him the total package and a multi-time champion. Raven's mind games and tortured artist persona created one of the most complex characters in wrestling history. Yet while these men achieved greater fame and bigger paydays, one wrestler embodied ECW's spirit more than anyone and literally went down with the ship: Tommy Dreamer. Dreamer was never known for lengthy title reigns or technical classics.
I knew they was going to say this, nigga. This is Rob Van Dam, nigga, stop.
But his legacy transcends titles.
I knew they was going to say this,
Dreamer
nigga.
endured ladder matches, barbed wire encounters, and weapons shots that left permanent scars, all while representing the everyman fighting against impossible odds.
That's the thing. See, he is going with the heart of it. Like, Jon Moxley is the heart of AEW. I can agree with that. Tommy Dreamer was the heart of ECW. Sting is the heart of WCW. But we're going with the GOAT. Greatest of all time from there. And it's Rob Van Dam. Like, what are we doing here?
He won the tag team championships alongside multiple partners, and his hardcore matches against Raven, Sandman, and other ECW originals consistently delivered the violence the company was known for. Dreamer's willingness to take punishment made others look unstoppable, while his eventual comebacks gave fans hope. Beyond in-ring work, Dreamer became Paul Heyman's most trusted soldier, keeping the locker room united during the company's financial struggles. When paychecks bounced and the company crumbled, wrestlers departed for other companies, but Dreamer remained loyal to a fault, fighting until the promotion officially died. Dreamer represented ECW's blue-collar ethos. He was never the most talented or charismatic, but his blood, sweat, and tears kept the company afloat. Nobody loved ECW more than Tommy Dreamer, the innovator of violence, who gave everything for the promotion. But as the original ECW crumbled in 2001, a new indie promotion would take over the Hammerstein Ballroom and give us some of the best wrestlers of the next decade. Ring of Honor launched in 2002 with a mission to showcase pure wrestling without flashy gimmicks.
Now, I don't really know about this.
Samoa Joe's reign of terror established the championship's prestige.
But it gotta be Samoa, right? This has to be Samoa. This has to be Samoa.
CM Punk's Summer of Punk storyline brought mainstream attention before his departure.
It has to be Samoa.
Kevin Steen's brutal heel work and eventual redemption created Ring of Honor's most
got Kevin Steen.
compelling character arc. Nigel McGuinness delivered technical classics and
Nigel McGuinness. Get out of there.
Showcased British wrestling on American.
He's probably a good wrestler, but get out of there. Oh, Bryan Danielson was there. Ooh. This tough because the Ring of Honor came out before TNA, didn't it? You gotta give it to the American Dragon. We gotta give it to him, dog.
Soil. Stars like El Generico, Matt Sydal, and Tyler Black had solid runs. Adam Cole and the Young Bucks later brought star power during Ring of Honor's resurgence. Yet one man's contributions to Ring of Honor transcended championships and matches, literally inspiring an entire generation. The American Dragon captured the ROH World Championship in 2005, defeating James Gibson.
You gotta go there. You agree with that, John? Samoa Joe fight Bryan Danielson live in 2004. Wow, that must have been a great match.
Title reign saw him successfully defending against Nigel McGuinness, Kenta, Samoa Joe, and countless others in matches that consistently earned 5-star ratings. His trilogy with McGuinness,
that's how he got his whole career started.
Showcased technical wrestling at its absolute peak, with their encounters producing instant classics that wrestling historians still study. Danielson's willingness to wrestle anywhere made ROH special. He defended the championship at tiny venues and major shows with equal intensity. His matches against the likes of Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, and Marufuji demonstrated his versatility. Beyond his own accomplishments, Danielson mentored younger wrestlers like Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and legitimized Ring of Honor to wrestling purists. When Danielson departed for WWE in 2009, he had already established the promotion as a proven training ground for future stars. But while Bryan was carrying Ring of Honor, a certain wrestling promotion in Asia was about to go bankrupt. New Japan Pro Wrestling stood as Japan's premier.
You just say, yeah, but that's a tough one. So many greats like Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, so many greats. Yeah, I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson, though. He sticks out to me the most from Ring of Honor.
Promotion for decades, but by
you can say WWE, but his wrestling style, nigga, was unmatched, bro. Like, he put people on to that wrestling style of his, bro.
The mid-2000s, the company faced near collapse. Hiroshi Tanahashi emerged during this dark period and single-handedly dragged New Japan back from the brink. The ace captured his first IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Like, CM Punk was the best mic person in Ring of Honor, no doubt. He's the best on the mic. We have Bryan Danielson, yeah. He's the best on the mic. Samoa Joe's the best big guy, hands down. Bryan Danielson was the best wrestler, though, bro, and he changed the game with that. CM Punk became the CM Punk later with WWE. He's like a baby now. But Bryan Danielson, he wasn't a baby then. That nigga was, he had some of his greatest matches there.
2006, starting New Japan's resurrection. While the company bled money and fans abandoned pro wrestling for MMA, Tanahashi delivered classics that reminded audiences why wrestling mattered. His rivalry with Nakamura produced excellent matches, but his feud with Kazuchika Okada...
Now, I'm a WWE fan, right? I know about New Japan a little bit. I know about the guy on the right. What's his name? Okada. And now he's the money man over there. I know about Shinsuke, obviously, when he was over there wrestling AJ. But yeah, it's only really one person in New Japan you gotta give it to. Yeah, you gotta give it to, what's his name? Horashi. I'm botching that name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You gotta give it to him, right? Look at his retirement was.
Find NJPW's next decade. Okada delivered the greatest in-ring work in company
history. But can't you go with like the old wrestlers too?
Nakamura's charisma made him a
New Japan was around for a while, wasn't it?
Kenny Omega brought international attention with his classics against Okada.
Kenny Omega bought a lot.
Redemption story created Japan's most beloved anti-hero. Yet while all these stars had their own unique appeal, only one man earned the title of ace. Tanahashi won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship 8 times, repeatedly carrying the company through transitions and challenges. His battles with Minoru Suzuki proved that he could work any style. His rivalry with Naito created compelling drama around two contrasting ideologies competing for the company's soul. Beyond championships, Tanahashi won the G1 Climax 3 times, headlined more Tokyo Dome shows than anyone in the modern era, and became Japan's most recognizable wrestler. His air guitar celebrations and genuine connection with fans made him a national...
Yeah, the Bullet Club was there, but you can't deny this, though. He's the... Bullet Club did their thing, but this nigga put them on another scale of promotion in Japan. So I'm gonna go with him. But what's that fan? There's so many of them niggas, bro.
Icon who appeared on mainstream
he just meant more than him though, like
television and in commercials. When New Japan needed someone to work with international stars like AJ Styles and Kenny Omega, Tanahashi delivered matches that amused both Japanese and Western audiences. His willingness to lose at Wrestle Kingdom 13 to establish Kenny Omega demonstrated his commitment to the company's success over personal glory. Even in the later stages of his career, the ace delivered solid encounters against the likes of Jay White, Evil, and Sonata, showing his eagerness to elevate the next generation.
Yeah.
While Okada may be New Japan's rainmaker and Nakamura its coolest star, Tanahashi saved the company from death and rebuilt it into a global force.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that.
And speaking of global force, let's answer the big question.
Let's get toxic, my nigga. All right, here we go. Woo, here we go. The controversial so far has been AEW. With me and John Babb arguing in the comment section. So I know people gonna argue in this video on who AEW was. My opinion is MJF. He's better on the mic than that nigga. He's more entertaining than that nigga in my opinion. Like, it ain't close. Now, what was before that? Ring of Honor we agreed on. WCW, I say Sting. John, he in the comments right now, he say Hulk Hogan. Okay, that I ain't gonna lie, that NWO round was crazy, but Sting just, I don't know, he just meant something with that face and that showing up menacingly, my nigga, week by week. And they ruined that shit. Don't get me wrong, but Hogan also meant a lot more, so it's controversial between there. But now we at WWE. I'm gonna have to. It's between two people with me. You're comparing star power. MJF is worlds better than Jon Moxley. Yeah, he is. He is. I get you, star power. I get you. It's between Stone Cold or The Rock with me. It's that simple. Now you can argue Undertaker. To me, that's where it stops.
Who's the GOAT of the biggest global promotion in pro wrestling? World Wrestling Entertainment has created countless mainstream superstars throughout its history. Hulk Hogan made wrestling a pop culture phenomenon and held the WWE Championship longer than anyone in the 1980s. Stone Cold Steve Austin became the biggest draw in wrestling history during the Attitude Era, selling record merchandise and delivering unprecedented
He's not choosing
television
Stone
ratings.
Cold.
The Rock transcended wrestling to become a
Who the
Hollywood
fuck this
star
nigga about to
while
choose?
winning multiple world championships.
He's not choosing The Rock.
John Cena carried the company
Fuck.
as
He's not
its
choosing
franchise
John.
player
Who the
for
fuck
over
is
a
this nigga about to
decade,
choose?
breaking merchandise records and granting more Make-A-Wish requests than anyone. Shawn Michaels delivered some of the greatest matches in history before retiring as Mr. WrestleMania. Yet when measuring longevity, consistency, and cultural impact combined, one supernatural force stood as WWE's cornerstone for nearly 3 decades.
Undertaker.
While others came and went, The Undertaker
I ain't mad at it, dog.
WWE's constant through
I ain't
the
mad
New
at it.
Generation, Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, PG Era, and beyond. He captured
Hey, notice that nigga ain't even mention Roman, nigga.
his first WWE Championship in 1991,
I ain't mad
defeating
at
Hulk
it.
Hogan. Undertaker won the WWE Championship 4 times and the World Heavyweight Championship 3 times across
The greatest
2 decades,
character
proving his
that
sustained
they
excellence.
ever created,
His feuds with
nigga.
Mankind produced some of the most brutal encounters, including their legendary Hell in a Cell match. The rivalry with Kane created wrestling's most compelling supernatural storyline. But beyond
I still like to watch you go watch the matches with Kane and Undertaker.
titles and rivalries, it was WrestleMania that defined the Undertaker's legacy
And the
more than anything.
WrestleMania
His
streak,
undefeated
too.
streak became professional wrestling's most prestigious accomplishment. The matches with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25
It might
and
be the
26
Undertaker,
are
yeah.
considered among the greatest of
It's a
all
good
time.
point.
The battles with Batista, Edge, CM Punk, and countless others gave WrestleMania its most reliable main event performer. His encounters with Triple H,
I gotta just go
particularly
with
their
Stone
Hell in a
Cold
Cell
personally,
match at
though.
WrestleMania 28, proved why the Dead Man was the soul of WrestleMania.
Because even though, like, what Undertaker lacked, to me, was my personal preference, which was mic skills. You want that good on a mic. It's kind of boring on a mic, to be honest. I remember Chris Jericho said something. He was backstage and he was listening to Undertaker. And, like, he talked back to Undertaker and he got in trouble for the shit because he was like, this nigga's talking. He's talking about Undertaker was talking about something about, I'm going to dig you a grave and bring you to the backyard. And Chris Jericho was like, this shit is boring as shit. He's like, shut up, Taker. And he got trouble in the back for saying that shit. But like some Taker, he not the best on the mic, you know. He do his job, whatever. I saw him on the mic when he was like a different character, which is a badass, and he was cool. But anyway, his gimmick was the thing that made him, and in the ring was the thing. But Stone Cold was just a must see to me, bro. That music hit, and you don't never know what that nigga gonna say too. SmackDown, Raw, come on. I gotta watch, nigga. Gotta watch Stone Cold. I'm talking like I was in this era. I caught like maybe a tad bit of Stone Cold. But he was almost out. So it's like then I went to old Stone Cold. When I looked at that old shit, when I played them video games and I started to realize who Stone Cold really was, I was like, oh, and I saw that rattlesnake jacket. And I saw that, I was like, oh, this nigga was fire, nigga. This nigga was hot. I fell in love with Stone Cold. When I started figuring out people past, I fell in love with Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels. Them was the 2 people that I fell in love with. And some people say Bret Hart. But me personally, I'm gonna go with Stone Cold. He was it for me, dog. But this is not a bad Taker is not a bad one. Or presence, work rate, gimmick, character, Taker. Okay, Stone Cold has aura. Stone Cold has presence. Stone Cold had he don't got work rate. I give you that because he got hurt. Stone Cold had a good gimmick, and Stone Cold had character. I don't think Taker beat him with is that work rate. I give you that because he got hurt. I give you that one. But that aura and that presence, nigga. But Taker presence was good too. That's why it's a close one, bro. It's a close one. I say it ends with Stone Cold and Taker right there. It's between those 2, and them like the 2 perfect ones to go at it, like because they so different from each other. Yeah, he don't got the longevity. Yeah. That's a good point. But man, when he was there, John, man, he rose that to a sky limit, nigga. Yeah.
Beyond big matches, Undertaker mentored younger talent and protected WWE's locker room culture. He wrestled
they bringing a lot to it too.
Ended other careers, always returning when WWE.
He making a good point.
Most. The gong, the iconic entrance, the tombstone piledriver. These became synonymous with WWE itself. While Hogan, Austin, Rock, and Cena achieved greater mainstream fame, nobody embodied WWE's soul like The Undertaker. For 30 years, the Phenom reminded everyone that WWE...
See, but if we going off that, John, now I'm going back to your WCW shit. I think Sting embodied WCW. He embodied that shit. And he had the longest longevity between any of them because Hogan left. He stayed. What are we doing here? Hogan on the mic was better, though. I'll give him that. In the ring, though, Sting was better. Character-wise, I think Sting had a... It's match. They match with characters. In WCW. But yeah, it's a good video. I can't argue Sting. Okay, got it up. The arguing is the AEW one. Yeah, and John Moxley, he do got longevity so far as of right now. He do got longevity, but as a character, MJF is just better though. And he has more aura than that nigga, more presence than that nigga. What you say? Character wise, he's better. Work rate though, I give it to Moxley. This is a good video about Wrestling Mafia. Let me know who is your GOATs of your of every wrestling promotion. And yeah, leave in the comments below. Peace.